Hey everyone, and welcome to another edition of Bullets Sport Spotlights. This week, our Team of the Week focus will be on the Bullets field hockey program, which has been running consistently on the field since the days of World War II. They haven't missed a season since, and there have been some great seasons to be had. And joining me today is our current field hockey coach, Barb Jordan, who is nearing 2 decades at the helm. She's the program's all-time winningest coach with 174 wins. Barb, can you believe it's been almost 2 decades here at Gettysburg?
No, that's pretty scary when you put it like that, So, yeah, I'm excited to be here. Thanks for having me, and looking forward to talking about the field hockey program.
And we've had some great years here. You and I together, of course, have been together for about 14 years now, and we're coming off a great year last year too. And we'll be talking about some updates to what is going on campus with the program as well. It's really interesting. We commented before we got on. You guys can't tell, but we are actually in our offices, which are about 20 feet away from each other. But we want to be able to see each other's faces, so we opted for the virtual backgrounds for you guys to see. And just to give you guys a quick background on Coach Jordan, as I said, she's entering actually her 19th year here at Gettysburg. She's a 1986 grad of Penn State, where she played lacrosse and field hockey, and she was also a 3-time All-American with the Nittany Lions. She was a member of Team USA in the 80s. We'll talk a little bit about that as well. And she is a 2004 inductee into the National Lacrosse Hall of Fame, as well as a 2018 inductee into the Pencrest High School Ring of Honor. Did I hit it all on the head, Barb? Was there anything I missed there?
No, that's good, Corey. That's good.
In addition to her field hockey duties, too, I should point out she's been the assistant coach and associate coach for the women's lacrosse team, and was the 2011 D3 Assistant Coach of the Year. So I just mixed that in too, Barb. So first question, obviously we're talking field hockey here. What has the last couple of weeks been for your program, and just trying to get a plan together that you guys can all kind of operate around?
Yeah, well, the last couple of weeks have been very similar to the last few months, in that, things are constantly changing, just trying to stay with the changes. I mean, sometimes it's on a daily basis, sometimes it's on an hourly basis that things are changing. And so I think we've done a pretty good job of kind of adjusting to that, and maybe not setting plans too far in advance, because we might have to change them. So, it's been difficult, but, I've seen a lot of the work that Gettysburg has done behind the scenes here, and people are working so hard to make this work for the students, and it's been really impressive. And we're obviously not going to make everybody happy, and it's going to be very difficult, but I just am so in awe of the way the administration and the athletic department, everybody is just trying to get the students on campus and in class in person and back on the fields. So that's what we're doing. We're back on the fields. We are we have 4 first years and a junior on the field, and so it's a little bit different, but we're excited to be back out there.
And of course, you alluded to the de-densification of campus that took place about 2 weeks ago already, and basically we had a rise in COVID cases on campus. The level got pretty high, to where they asked about 2/3 of campus to move off campus back home. So we have about 900 students on campus, the entire first year cohort, as well as some upperclassmen too are on campus, and international students. So you've got 5 players to work with on campus. That doesn't mean we're ignoring the student athletes at home. There are plans in place for strength and conditioning and training, and hopefully they're keeping up with their stick skills too. So talk about what your expectations are for the fall, and even going forward. And the caveat is that we really don't know what the spring is going to look like. That is being talked at levels that are far above you and I right now.
That's true. Yeah, we haven't even looked at the spring yet. I know there's a lot of work to be done before we get there, but for the fall, what we decided to work on is really with the first years and our junior, just to keep their stick work going, and probably even more importantly is we have a little bit more time than we normally do. And usually when first years come in to college, they're right into their preseason, and then they go into orientation, and then classes start, and then games start, and there's so much being thrown at them. So there's not a lot of time to really get to know them as well as I would like to on a personal level. And so now that things have kind of slowed down a little bit, it gives us that time. So, we're working on their stick work and having them get used to, being out on the field with each other and just using the time also to get to know them. And that's been great because I just have never had the time to do that. And I've never liked that, but there's just so much happening, in a normal year. So this has been really good for us to kind of take a step back and just spend some time with them. We're going to try to do, we're going to be on the field a couple times a week, but we're also going to try to explore Gettysburg a little bit with them and have them get to know, the community and different things that they can do in the community. So, we're going to do the Heart Walk this Friday with women's lacrosse and, just show them different areas of Gettysburg because it's beautiful out there. So I want to make sure that they're aware of their surroundings.
And how are you keeping in contact with some of your, returners that are home? Emma Bertrando, I know, is home, and Izzy Miller is just up the road in Lancaster. So how are you keeping in contact with some of your upperclassmen?
Yeah, we'll be doing Zooms with them. We have not started that yet. Again, things happen so fast. I wanted to give them some time to acclimate, being back at home and get used to being virtual with their classes again. So I didn't want to overwhelm them. But we are going to start having Zooms again, probably starting this Thursday. And just, most importantly, I want to see where they are and what they need. And then try to make a plan from there, so because we don't know what the spring looks like, it's really hard to kind of decide what direction we want to take. So, we're going to have little check-in meetings this Thursday, and we'll see where everybody is, and then we'll go from there.
The reason why I brought up Emma Bertrando is because I will actually be talking to her later this week, her and Julia Soares, who were part of a kind of a big moment from last fall when we beat Dickinson. I wanted to ask you, over 18 years here at Gettysburg, obviously you've coached a lot of different games. Are there any moments on the field involving any players that kind of stick out to you?
Wow. I mean, I've been thinking a lot about this question, and it's really hard. 18 years is a long time. But the first thing that stood out to me was my very first year, we really struggled. I thought we had a lot of talent, but we really struggled to win games. And so we didn't make it to the conference tournament. But the next year in 2003, we came back. We pretty much had the same team because we didn't have any seniors on the 2002 team. And we made it to the conference championship and lost to Hopkins. And the thing that really, what I remember about that is just, how I was just so happy that the players stuck with it and came back the next year and just, really turned things around. And was just so happy for them that, they went through a bad year and they didn't give up and they kept fighting and they turned it around and got themselves back into the tournament, into the championship game. So that's definitely something that sticks out to me. We've had a lot of really great wins. We've actually had a lot of really great losses too. But I think honestly, the thing that stands out to me are the practices. I love practice. It's just so much fun to be out there with the student athletes and to spend time with them. I love watching them compete, but enjoy competing. I love watching them challenge themselves and challenge each other. And it's just, that is by far the best part of my day. So the games are always, actually a lot of them blend together, but the practices, having all the Maori sisters together for a season was really, really cool and really fun. And then working with Ashley over the last, 9 or 10 years has been great. So there's a lot of people who have made a really big impact on me and my time here. Definitely the student athletes are the number one. They've just been great and so much fun to be able to spend 2 or 3 hours with them every day.
And it's funny you mentioned the Maori sisters that were here. Of course, Ashley's been your sister for a decade, and then Lexi and Haley, of course, played for you. There's never a dull moment with the Maori clan in the stands either, filling
Yeah,
out all those rows of seats too. They go back
you get the whole
over
family.
100 years at Gettysburg College for the Maori clan. So it's
Yeah,
been awesome seeing them at games for the better part of the last decade as well.
definitely. Great family.
So we mentioned a little bit about your lacrosse exploits as well. Of course, you're a former lacrosse player, 3-time All-American at Penn State. You coached lacrosse at Bucknell, and then when you got here, first of all, you became just the fourth head field hockey coach, but you followed in the footsteps of Carol, who is our head lacrosse coach. And of course, you two form quite the dynamic duo out there on the lacrosse field in the spring. So what's it like? I'm really interested in the answer to this. What's it like coaching and operating beside Carol for the last 18 years?
Well, I don't know if you know that Carol and I grew up in the same town, and we grew up probably lived about 2 or 3 miles away from each other, but the school district line split us. So she went to one school and I went to another, and we didn't know that we were from the same area until I got the job here. So we spent, and actually we still do, we walk down memory lane all the time. So I think what has really helped is that, we're very close friends, and we've learned that, yes, we both want to win, but we've learned that we really both have the same philosophy. Besides the wins and losses, we really want our student athletes to have a great experience. We want to challenge them, and we want to create an environment where, they're going to be able to reach their full potential and really get outside their comfort zones. And just, we just want to empower them so they leave here as strong, confident women. And that's definitely a philosophy that we both share. So that's made it very easy for us to work together, because we really have the same goals in mind. And everything we do, that's always in the back of our minds, always trying to provide that great experience for the players. So it's fun, I mean, it's been a lot of fun. I think sometimes it was challenging coming from being a head coach to an assistant coach. But I've learned a lot about being a head coach because of that. And I think, I hope I've made her a better coach. I know she's made me one. And I think it's made me a better head coach for my assistant, for Ashley, because I see things from her perspective as well. So, overall, it's been a really great experience. And I love that I can stay involved in both sports, because I love them both. And just like two sport athletes, I'm glad I don't have to choose. I'm glad I'm able to stay involved with both. But yeah, coaching with Carol, almost every day is definitely an experience. And but I highly recommend trying to get a job with your best friend, because it's really fun.
And of course, when you became the all-time wins leader, you broke the record set by Carol, who ironically broke the record set by her mentor, Lois Bowers, as well.
Yeah.
So a lot of great history here at Gettysburg College when it comes to field hockey. So another great part of your resume is the fact that you competed with Team USA. And I know a lot of us, this was an Olympic year. So looking at that perspective, seeing the Olympics and world champions compete out there, we missed that. So I want to talk a little bit about that experience in the 80s too. Of course, lacrosse isn't part of the Olympics, of course, but they have the world championships that happen every 4 years as well. We've got a great history. Mike was the Team USA trainer for quite a few terms, I think 8 years actually, and Carol was an assistant as well. So a great connection. And then you played, I believe, 8 years in the 80s with Team USA. Talk a little bit about that experience.
Yeah, so, I was really fortunate, again, where I grew up, that I think I had some of the best coaches in the country. From starting playing both field hockey and lacrosse in 7th grade, I've just been really blessed with having great role models and mentors. And actually, my field hockey coach in high school, she went on to become the lacrosse coach at Dartmouth, and then the AD. And my lacrosse coach in high school ended up moving on to Penn State as an assistant, and then the head coach. And then she was in administration for a number of years up there as well. And they both are in the National Lacrosse Hall of Fame. So just kind of gives you insight into how great the coaching was that I was able to receive. So that had a huge impact on me. They both really challenged me a lot, but they were always supportive and there for me. So that was just the path that I took. I mean, just loved playing, and it really didn't matter what sport it was. I loved playing, but lacrosse, I guess, maybe came a little more naturally to me. So yeah, I mean, it was a great experience. Have so many teammates and coaches and my parents, everybody to thank for all the support that they gave me to reach that point. But it was something I'll never forget. It gave me opportunities to travel. We actually played in the World Cup at Swarthmore College in '86, which was really cool because that was about 2 miles from my house. So it was really close to home, and just to have all my family and relatives and friends, it was, just an overall great experience, and one that, has really kind of molded me into who I am.
And of course, we flash forward now to the present day. Of course, you were inducted in the National Lacrosse Hall of Fame too. I almost forgot about that aspect in 2004. How do you feel about being part of that? I know we went to the National Training Center in 2019 and actually saw your little plaque like in the middle of the whole board. That was amazing. The team was so impressed.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's awesome. It's great. I don't know. I mean, I really don't know what to say. It's again, just very fortunate and very blessed to have the opportunity that led me there. So.
It's always fun to break those out, Barb, because I know you
Yeah.
don't like talking about yourself, so I'll talk about you all day long.
All right. Thanks, Corey. Appreciate it.
So flash forwarding to 2020 and, everything we've been dealing with this year, you and Ashley are both still trying to recruit teams for the future, not only working with your current teams and getting them ready for whatever the future holds for them this year, but also trying to recruit people, looking at the class of 2021 for high school and going forward too. So what are you communicating to the classes? What are you trying to tell them and about, just being part of the program and being part of Gettysburg College?
So we really, we've been doing a lot of virtual recruiting and Zoom calls, and Daryl Jones has helped us a lot. So the recruiting is moving along, and really, my message is always the same, and that's that I've never been at in an institution where you can feel across every department how everybody just wants the best for the students, and they're all here to challenge them and support them. And I just think Gettysburg is a place where academically you're going to be able to reach all of your goals, and athletically you're going to be able to reach all of your goals, and the resources that we have and the facilities that we have, I just think it's just an incredible place to be able to spend 4 years. And athletically, like the conference for field hockey is just off the charts. It's really, really good. There's not one team in the conference that is not competitive, and on any given day, I think what I like about it is that coming into the season, every team can legitimately feel that they have a chance to win the conference tournament. And that's for real. And it's, that's 11 schools. So it's such a great conference. It's such a great honor to be a part of it. And that's really my message. I just feel like Gettysburg is a place where you can really do it all, and hopefully they're going to leave here after 4 years and feel the same way.
And for sure, this 10-year conference, you can't beat it field hockey-wise when you've got F&M, Johns Hopkins, and Ursinus coming in with national championship aspirations every year. They've all been to the Final Four in the last decade.
Yep.
We battle with Dickinson every single year for a playoff spot. And then you've got Victor Brady and Bryn Mawr and what they've been able to do too. I mean, I remember when we used to beat them 11-0, and now they are incredible on that back line and just holding teams down. We managed to beat them in the playoffs, but they got us in the regular season. So the whole conference just feels like it's even out. There's no top and bottom. It's all so competitive every single game, and all it takes is one goal.
I know. It's hard to get that one goal, but yeah, it's all it takes.
Well, hopefully, Barb, we can see some goals this season and things pan out well for the spring. I know you're working hard with your team. You've probably got some practice stuff in line for today. You got to go meet with those freshmen and that lone junior out there on the field today. So I don't want to take up any more of your time. So I want to thank you for taking part in this week's Bullet Sports Spotlight. And everyone at home, check out what we have in store for the week. We've got features on the captains. We're going to be talking about two-sport athletes as well, since Barb coaches both sports. We've got a throwback game where we'll be talking to Julia Soares and Emma Bertrando on Thursday, and Friday we'll be featuring the 1980 AIAW Division III National Championship team as well. We've got some conversations with some alums coming up for Friday too. So my name is Corey Jewart. I'm Director of Athletic Communications. For Barb Jordan, our head field hockey coach and assistant lacrosse coach, we are signing off for this week's Bullet Sports Spotlights.
Thank you.